A young woman arrives at her booked rental home to find it occupied by a stranger. Despite reservations, she chooses to stay the night, only to uncover that the unexpected house guest is just the beginning of her unsettling discoveries. Hey everyone, today I'm going to give a recap of the American horror thriller movie Barbarian. The movie begins on a stormy night when a young woman, Tess Marshall, comes outside of a house which she booked on Airbnb a month ago. When she tries to check in, she can't find the house key in the locker box and can't contact the person who booked it for her. As she gets ready to go, she sees a light turning on in the house. She returns and rings the bell of the house again, and a guy named Keith opens the door. He reveals that he rented the same house through a different app. Keith proposes that they go inside to resolve the situation. Despite feeling uneasy, especially being a young woman alone, Tess agrees, given the dark and rainy conditions outside. As the night progresses, Tess struggles to secure another hotel. Keith explains that a citywide convention has led to fully booked hotels. He suggests Tess stay in the bedroom while he takes the couch for the night. Initially uneasy, Tess, as a precaution, takes a photo of Keith's ID when she notices his wallet in the room. Tess freshens up and Keith suggests they share a bottle of wine. To clear Tess's concerns, he hadn't opened it earlier. During their conversation, Tess mentions a job interview with filmmaker Bonnie Zane. Surprisingly, Keith reveals he's seen Bonnie's latest movie, contrary to Tess's belief that it wasn't widely watched. They continue chatting, getting to know each other before heading to bed. Later that night, Tess wakes up as the bedroom door opens and she hears Keith gasping in his sleep. She tries to wake him up and it startles both of them. Keith insists that nothing is wrong. The next morning, Tess goes for her interview, while Keith leaves a message on paper that he has to go and will see her in the evening. When she leaves the house, she's amazed to see that the neighborhood looks old and run down. Soon, Tess meets her interviewer Bonnie at a restaurant, and the interview goes smoothly until Tess talks about where she's staying. Bonnie advises her that she should find another place to stay as the neighborhood has a bad reputation. In the next scene, as Tess returns to the house, a guy named Andre chases her and tells her to leave. Tess is all scared and calls the police, but no units are available to assist. Upon this, Tess starts to pack her stuff. Upon discovering there is no toilet paper in the toilet, she goes towards the basement to get the toilet paper, but the door locks behind her, and she realizes she left her phone in the kitchen. While searching the basement, she sees a rope in the wall and finds a hidden tunnel entrance. Though hesitant at first, Tess goes into the tunnel. Inside, she finds a room with a bed, a camera, and a bloody handprint on the wall. She quickly goes back to the basement, sees Keith outside, and asks him for help to get out. As Tess gets rescued, she tells Keith about what she saw and insists they should leave. Keith tries to calm her down, saying there's nothing dangerous down there, and goes down to check it. Next, Tess goes to find Keith and learns that he is not inside the room. Instead, there are additional stairs leading further down. She hears Keith screaming for help. Tess locates him down in the tunnel and he tells that something bit him. Before they can escape, a scary, naked mutant woman shows up and brutally kills Keith by smashing his head against the wall. Then she roars at Tess. In the next scene, while driving, a screenwriter, AJ Gilbride, receives a call from his colleagues. They tell him he's been taken off their new project because a woman accused him of rape. AJ denies the accusation and plans to fight the case. However, his accountant informs him that the legal expenses will wipe out his finances in a few months. The accountant suggests selling his house or other properties. Later, AJ arrives in Detroit and goes to a house he owns, revealing it's the same house from earlier. When he gets there, he sees Tess's luggage and contacts the agency to check if any tenants are still there, but he doesn't get a clear answer. After that, AJ goes out with a friend and says that he influenced the woman into having sex, but he maintains he did not commit rape. The next morning, as he checks the luggage, he discovers a laptop that belongs to a girl named Tess. While exploring the house, he goes to the basement and senses someone might be down there, so he gets scared. He goes down with a flashlight and a knife and discovers a hidden passage leading further down. He gets excited and returns to search online to see if this hidden feature could increase the house's price, as he's considering selling the property. He then goes down with a measuring tape and starts measuring around. He then discovers another secret passage that leads further down into tunnels. As he continues measuring, he finds a room with a TV playing a video of a baby breastfeeding, which shocks him. After sensing someone's presence in the dark, he runs and encounters the same scary, naked mutant woman. Panicking, he runs and stumbles into a pit where Tess is also present. She tells him to stay quiet. In the next scene, the movie takes us back to the 1980s when the neighborhood was bustling with people. A guy named Frank, living in the same house, goes to a store to buy baby stuff. On the way, he sees a young woman and follows her home. To get inside her house, Frank disguises himself as an electric company worker and unlocks her bathroom window from inside her house. When he gets back home, his neighbor Doug informs Frank that everyone in the neighborhood is selling their house due to the city's economic collapse and asks Frank to do the same. But Frank tells him that he is not going anywhere. Now, in the present time, Tess advises AJ to stay quiet and follow the creature's instructions. The frightening mutant lowers a baby bottle into the pit. Tess drinks from it, but AJ is unsure. The scary humanoid woman then enters the pit, treating Tess like a child, but growls at AJ as he does not drink from the bottle and takes him to a room where a video of breastfeeding is playing. Meanwhile, Tess, who is now alone, sees an opportunity to escape and climbs out of the pit. She spots AJ and the mutant woman, aka the mother, in the room where she compels him to breastfeed. As Tess is escaping, she makes a noise by stepping on a measuring tape, and the scary mutant woman chases her. Tess then breaks the basement window and Andre pulls her out before the mother can reach her. Andre tries to take Tess to safety, but she insists on going back to free AJ. Tess then heads to a nearby rest station and calls the police, but when they arrive, they think she is a drug addict from her messy looks. She brings them to the house, but since there's no proof of crime, the police go away. However, Tess waits until it's dark and sneaks into the house to get her car keys. When she gets in her car, the mother comes out and tries to break into the car from the front. Tess then rams the car into the side of the house, seemingly killing the mutant woman. At the same time, AJ enters a room and finds Frank, who is very sick and almost dying. AJ discovers tapes of women Frank has raped and harmed over the years. As AJ confronts him about his actions, Frank takes out a gun and shoots himself in the head. AJ takes the gun and leaves the room. While Tess goes downstairs to look for AJ, she calls out to him. AJ, scared in the darkness, is startled and accidentally shoots her in the stomach. Even though Tess is hurt, AJ assists her in leaving the house. Outside, Tess notices that the mother is no longer present. Tess then guides AJ down the street to a safe spot where they run into Andre. Andre explains that Frank owned the house before AJ did and never left, and lived beneath the house, where he raped women and interbred their children, eventually leading to the birth of this mutant mother. While they talk, Andre is sure that the mother cannot locate them. However, Andre is swiftly proven wrong when she suddenly comes out and tears off his arm, then uses it to beat him to death. Meanwhile, Tess and AJ try to find safety and climb up a water tower. AJ accidentally drops the gun just as the mother gets closer. In a desperate move to save himself, AJ grabs Tess and throws her off the tower because he knows the creature will go after her to protect her, giving him time to escape. That's exactly what happens. The mother puts herself in harm's way to protect Tess. AJ runs down and sees the mother seemingly dead, while Tess is unharmed. In the final scenes, as AJ tries to defend his actions by lying to Tess, the mother suddenly rises, gouges out AJ's eyes with her thumbs, and cracks his head. The mother then moves towards Tess to show her affection. Tess grabs the gun, and with some regret, she shoots the mutant. After that, Tess gets up and leaves to get medical help. Okay, that's all for the recap of the movie Barbarian. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more exciting recaps. See you in the next video.